After working on Halo for 17 years, art director Glenn Israel has resigned and posted this ominous message about the state of Halo and Halo Studios. This is one you're not going to want to miss because it has huge implications about what is coming next. So, this guy has worked on Halo since the Halo 4 days, and he said, as of today, and after 17 long years, I am officially no longer contributing to the Halo universe. There is little more I can say for the moment, though I intend to share this particular story in its entirety when it's absolutely safe to do so next year. In the meantime, I have a message for anyone and everyone who needs to hear it. I know that the state of our industry seems dire, but never forget that you are free to choose. No illusion of security, nor promise or of wealth or fame or power is worth trading away your health, your dignity, your ethics, or values, and no one can force you to. Stay strong, take evidence when necessary, and find where you belong. There is a lot to unpack here. So he talks about sharing a larger part of this story next year. Obviously, there's very not much of a story here at all, except for one that basically paints Halo Studios as some kind of threatening force or parasite in your life. This is the way that he kind of represented them. And I know if you read between the lines, what he's saying is that this first portion here is that he doesn't feel safe to share this story. This might be because of an NDA, maybe it's because it has something directly to do with the next Halo game. It makes total sense why he doesn't want to share anything right now. Hell, he might even have colleagues or some connections still, things of that nature he might be worried about. But this second portion kind of builds up the first, because this post implies what I've heard from years of my own sources, as well as hearsay from others like Rebs Gaming. Working at 343 in Halo Studios strains you. You also need to take evidence when necessary. That is a huge implication that things that make people feel unsafe, that there are certain things at the studio that are making people feel like they need to, take evidence is a huge implication, but also taking away your health, your dignity, your ethics, or values. Those are pretty big things as well. Now, I'm just going to throw this out here as theories. Could this have something to do with AI replacing him as the art director? Maybe. Could this maybe also be a stretch here? It could be the political climate as well. But the fact is that I think this is more straightforward and a little bit more of what we expect, and it's that Halo Studios and their culture is no different than 343's. We've seen a lot of leaders leave recently, such as Melissa Boone. We have other lead positions that have just opened up as well, right before all the controversy last month with Charlie Kirk. That controversy happened, right? In my time of doing YouTube for over 15 years, I will say I have never seen a resignation post like this from 343 or Halo Studios was so bleak and unnecessary and depressing. Not unnecessary in the terms of I think he shouldn't have posted it, I think he should have. I think he should be more open, and I'm looking forward to hearing the story. But I don't understand what benefit he had posting this. He must have been pretty fed up to post this. I think there's a lot of people still at the studio that are fed up as well. This is one that opens up after 17 years. That's like a lot of things that this person went through Halo 4 and Halo 5, and it's no wonder this person's burned out. From my own sources, I also heard that Joseph Staten was also very just depressed and didn't even want to talk about it or think about Halo anymore after he got let go from the mass firing back in 2023. Well, he also mentioned that no one can force you to work. Again, if you read between the lines here, this all kind of spells a little story that this is not a fun place to work at. This is something I've also seen a lot of evidence, right? To me, this also backs up the theories that they are pushing people really hard to meet deadlines, that they're super far behind, and that also implies that they're not organized at all because clearly they're not being productive. Not to mention the ending, he says, take evidence. That's pretty sus. I'm sure we'll be talking more about that in the future. Anyways, shout out to Rebs Gaming for sharing some of this story. He also has extensive knowledge the most that I know of any outsider about Halo Studios, and says that he fears something bad is brewing at Halo Studios. High ranking individuals are leaving right before the reveal of the game. Could this be because they don't want to have any of this on their name? They don't really want to be involved or take the heat because they know it's going to be a train wreck, right, like the first Halo Infinite's reveal. This could be very possible, and I think that we should still keep our expectations somewhere in the middle. It could be good, it could be bad, but Rebs confirms that there is, in fact, studio leadership issues. I don't think anyone's really doubting that at this point. Earlier this year, we heard a project was in crisis mode. And back in July this year as well, an ex Halo Studios employee said, I don't think anybody is really happy about the quality of the product right now. This is, again, like 3 months ago. There's been a lot of tension and pep talks trying to rally folks to ship. The studio recently teased that it would reveal what it's been working on at this year's Halo World Championship in October. Rebs also points out that most of the art team on Halo Infinite has left. You can see here, this is a picture that he put on his video, which you can find down in the description, and it basically shows everyone that used to work on Halo Infinite and who is left, which is pretty much no one. Halo Studios might be pretty much a, none of the same people from 343, but that's not necessarily a good thing, and it doesn't necessarily fix all the issues. You still need a good studio, especially if the same people are making the same decisions at the top. Then it really doesn't matter who changes on the middle to the bottom. Rebs said this doesn't mean that the studio hasn't made major improvements to things like development structure and studio collaboration, which I still believe is true, he says. This also doesn't mean new games are doomed. But yes, I can say that there are leadership issues. I'm not sure how much Microsoft has to do with this yet. Information is being kept off the record at the moment to ensure privacy. Once I'm able to report specific details, okay, he'll share an update. I posted little Kermit the Frog. Yeah, so I'm just a little bit disappointed to hear that this is still a thing. And honestly, guys, I've played these games before. I know exactly what's going on, I feel like. At least this rhymes with the past quite a bit. We heard the same exact thing happen over and over like we are now before Halo Infinite 4 years, like we have 4 years right now. Nothing has changed in terms of the development structure, at least as far as what I can see as some dude in my chair, right? From what we're being told, from what we're seeing, from disgruntled employees that have come out of top positions saying things like that we saw earlier in this video, well, then I don't know what to say. This is really hard to be excited about the next games when we constantly have these little foreshadowings of how bad the game is going to be, right? And maybe the game's going to be okay, but how good can the game be when the studio is so incompetent, right? I mean, it's all over the place. I don't know, again, what needs to change. Microsoft needs to come in and clean the house, but Microsoft isn't exactly making the best decisions themselves. So, yeah, there is a lot to unpack here, I'm sure, for Glenn, and I wish him the very best in his future ventures, but man, he's not even talking about that. He's just talking about, how he was probably screwed over. And I'm kind of curious about what he has to say about the whole thing. So we'll definitely try to pick this up whenever he says something next. So what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comment section below. And again, the big next Halo reveal is going to be on October 24th at the Halo World Championship. I am probably going to be there on Friday or Saturday. We will see, but I will be making posts about it when the time comes. I would love to meet y'all, and at least we can all cry together in some corner. Okay?